In this video, I want to show you how the drums from Starboy by The Weeknd were made. Now this is actually quite an interesting story because according to The Weeknd, Daft Punk made that drum loop on their phone.
Hey, so I'm like, what the f is that? What is that sound?
Yeah.
So I walk in and it's Guillermo on his phone or on his laptop or something, and it's the drums of Starboy. It's like, I'm like, what is that? He's like, no, it's just something on my phone. I'm like, put that shit on the fucking speakers.
The reason for that is that the drums were actually made with the so-called Microtonic by SonicCharge. And that thing communicates with a device from Teenage Engineering, which is called the PO-32. And you can transfer sounds back and forth with that. In fact, it wasn't actually a phone that they used, but it was like this little pocket operator by Teenage Engineering. And what I tried to do, now this is confirmed by Dehila. I found this post on Reddit where he shared that Daft Punk made the most of the drums with this plugin. It has an oscillator with 3 waveforms and it has a noise oscillator. And it seems very simple. Everything you can do is what you see right here. However, it's capable of making quite a lot of different drum sounds. We're gonna start with the kick. It's just like a really knocking kick here. You can see there's no processing on this thing here. This is how it sounds like. And it's basically just a sine wave with a pitch envelope. So it's how you would make a kick. And then there's a little bit of distortion on here. Now there's also this percussion. Then we have a high percussion. This is basically using FM modulation. So the pitch is modulated very quickly and it creates that percussive overtones. And with the low percussion, it's a little bit simpler. A sine wave with distortion and some white noise. And then we have this noisy head here. So altogether, it's quite simple. Now for the clap, I'm 100% sure this wasn't made with the Microtonic because it's a very complex clap sound. It actually sounds like this. And I made this one with Serum, completely synthesized. So we have like a body, like this very low end thing with the pitch follow, and then some harmonics and the noise. Basically a noise oscillator with like the clap shape here. And all together, it sounds like this. But there's something special in the production here because it's not just the sounds put together. There's something more going on here. So the first thing, and I was a little bit curious first because I couldn't figure it out right. But there's actually a sidechain. So the kick is sidechaining the snare. And there's this one position which is here where the kick and the snare are played at the exact same time. You can see that here as well. So if you look at the compressor, you can see the clap is getting ducked down. So it's a little bit quieter and it's get mashed together with the kick here. Now the other thing is like this noise head here would just sound like that. It sounds a little bit static if we just play that on top of it. So the trick basically is that you take the percussions, the clap and the kick, and I put them into a bus and use that as a trigger to trigger the sidechain. So every time one of these drums hit, the hi-hat gets ducked down a little bit and that makes it a lot more dynamic. And if we mute the drum bus, we can actually hear that. So this is before and this is after. So there's like some groove in there. And it makes quite a big difference in the mix actually. It's very static. Now we turn on the compressor, we get a lot more dynamic hi-hats here. And if we put this together with the AI separated bass and music stems, we get this.